Alright, quick message to the viewer. If you feel that these processes becoming too much for you, and you feeling inadequate, and you feel like you don't have the intellect, I just want to let you know. I got left back in fourth grade, left back twice in the sixth grade, and even though I wound up getting my GED, but yeah, my journey, I ain't all that bright. However, if you are of the frequency, just raise your vibration and things will naturally come to you and you'll be alright. Even if you're not of the frequency, as long as you believe in yourself, believe you could do it, eventually your mind will work towards that. That's part of using your mind. Faith and belief, the principle eats. Alright? And that's all I gotta say. Hopefully you learn something.
You have been chosen.
Alright, let's get it. This presentation is going to be on how to maintain your sovereignty as a sovereign national or as a sovereign citizen. All right, here we go. Further, I'm going to explain why this law right here exists. Immunity of a foreign state from jurisdiction. And here's what it says. Subject to existing international agreements to which the United States is a party at the time of enactment of this act, a foreign state shall be immune from the jurisdiction of the courts of the United States and of the states, except as provided in Section 1605, which deals with commercial activities, to 1607, which y'all could research further about that of this chapter. But let's get to it. Here's one of the cases you want to get knowing, right? Which is Eisenberg versus Commercial Union Insurance Company, 189F Supplement 500, which is the U.S. District Court for the Southern District of New York. I'm from New York, so yeah. But however, I believe you could use this court case within other states as well because the principles still apply. So here's what it says, right? It is to be noted that the statute differentiates between states of the United States and foreign states by the use of a capital S for the word when applied to a state of the United States. Now, you're probably thinking, all right, so the 50 states is within the United States and it's not a foreign state. Well, I beg to differ, and I'm here to break it down to you, all right? So they gave the definition of state right here under the Sovereign Immunity Act, particularly, right, Section 1332 of Title 28, right, diversity of citizenship. And we go all the way down to D, the word state, as used in this section, includes the territories, the District of Columbia, and the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico. However, this definition do not include the Union States. So that means when they talking about states down here, right, states of the United States, the Union States is not included. which will make it a foreign state or part of the foreign states. All right, and I'm here to break that down. All right, so if this state right here with a capital S, right, doesn't include the Union States, right, so that will make the Union States when used in a statute, right, in the United States codes, it will be with a lowercase s instead of a capital S, right? Now I'm gonna further explain, and plus, Section 32, 1332 have changed. It has been updated. One second. Let's give the updated version. All right, so there we go. Right, 1332. So now we'll find the definition of state at E instead of D. So we gotta go down to E, right? The word states, as used in this section, includes the territories, the District of Columbia, and the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico. All right. So yeah, they have revised it. So pay attention to that. Nonetheless, this case is still it haven't been appealed, so it's still valid. All right. When it comes to the United States codes, right? The definition of states in capital S only means the territories, the District of Columbia, and the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico. It may be more, but it does not include foreign states, which is the Union states will be a part of, right? So whenever they mention in foreign states, which includes the Union states, which all 50 states are a part of, it will have a lowercase s. And I'm gonna give you an example. So, as you can see, when it comes to commercial activities, let's go back here, right? Immunities, right? So it says, subject to existing international agreements to which the United States is a party at the time of enactment of this act, a foreign state shall be immune from the jurisdiction of the courts of the United States and of the states, except as provided in Section 1605, which deals with commercial activity, to 1607, which deals with a lot of other stuff, right, of this chapter. But 1605 deals with commercial activity, right? And I mean, y'all could get a look at it yourself. But general exceptions to the jurisdictional immunity of a foreign state, and then it gives a whole bunch of examples right here. A foreign state shall not be immune from the jurisdiction of courts of the United States or of the states in any case, and then it gives right here commercial activity. All right. So I'm gonna break it down further. Right now, let's go to uh what's this? This is under the Consumer Financial Protection Bill. This is Title 12, right, of the Code of Federal Regulations, right, Part 1026, Regulation Z. Now, this deals with commercial activity. And here's some definitions, right? Now, let's go down to A26. Let's see the definition of state, right? State means any state, as you can see, it's in lowercase. So they're talking about the 50 states as well, right? The District of Columbia, the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, and any territorial possession of the United States. Territorial possession of the United States could also mean the states that the District of Columbia create under Article 4, Section 3, Clause 2. And I'm going to touch more on that because that's very important to know, right? The District of Columbia is the district, which is the federal government, right, which is created under Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17, which creates the federal government, and that's the seat of the federal government, all right? So, now that we got that clear, right, let's go to another, a Supreme Court case, O'Donoghue versus United States, right? And here's what it says. After an exhaustive review of the prior decisions of this court relating to the matter, The following prepositions, among others, were stated as being established that the District of Columbia and the territories are not states within the judicial clause of the Constitution, giving jurisdiction in cases between citizens of different states. So what this means is the District of Columbia is a foreign state, right, to the states because it's not a state, right? It's not a part of the 50 states. And the territories are not states, which is not a part of the 50 states as well, which is foreign, right? Within the judicial clause, which means they don't have no judicial power. So the District of Columbia only have judicial power within the district or the territories that's within the District of Columbia, right? That's created out of Article 4, Section 3, Clause 2, right? Don't have no judicial power as well, right? That territories are not states within the meaning of revised statutes, Section 709, permitting risk of error from this court in cases where the validity of a state statute is drawn in question. That the District of Columbia and the territories are states as the word is used in treaties with foreign powers with respect to the ownership, disposition, and inheritance of property. So, right here, the District of Columbia and the territory are states, right? So even though they are considered territories and not states when it comes to mentioning the Union states, right? But they still are states that could be submitted within the Union, right? They are called territories first under Article 4, Section 3, Clause 2. They are territories first, and then they can become states, right? With the agreement of the legislation, I believe. But all right, continue, right? That the territories are not within the clause of the Constitution providing for the creation of a Supreme Court and such inferior courts as Congress may see fit to establish, right? So they have no judicial power. These territories have no judicial power, right? So the state, right, with the capital S, has no judicial power. Only the one with the lowercase s have judicial power, right? That's what you need to understand. And we got further, and it's further confirmed up here, right? The territories, right, which is the state with the which is the capital S, right? The states with the capital S are considered territories, and they do have courts, but these courts are legislative courts created in virtue of the national sovereignty or under Article 4, Section 3, Clause 2 of the Constitution, United States Constitution, vested in Congress the power to dispose of and make all needful rules and regulations respecting the territory or other property belonging to the United States. So when we go down, right, and we understand the reason why at 3 that the District of Columbia and the territories are states, as that word is used in treaties with foreign powers with respect to the ownership, disposition, and inheritance of property, right? The District of Columbia, which is created at Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17, right? Through Congress is allowed to create territories. And these territories have courts. But these courts are not of a judicial function, they are of a legislative function. And they are considered states concerning other foreign powers, right? Within treaties with other foreign powers. They are considered states. But within the United States, they are not considered states, which means they are foreign to the states, the union states. However, each union state is also foreign to each other, right? Federal New York state laws cannot apply to Florida state laws, and so forth, right? Each state has its own laws, and each state cannot impose its laws onto other laws. So the district, which is the United States government, federal government, create these states, right? And these states have laws, which is bylaws, right? Under the United States codes. That's the bylaws for these states. But these bylaws, right, are only limited to these states, which is not of the Union States, right? Hope that makes sense. And that's why we got right here, right, subject to existing international agreements to which the United States is a party at the time of enactment of this act, a foreign state shall be immune from the jurisdiction of the courts of the United States and of the states. And then except as providing, commercial activity, and then you can look up the rest for yourself. Let me further explain, right? In New York, right? In New York, you know how you ever heard of saying all crimes are commercial? All right, let me see if I could look up that. 1 second. So here, all crimes are commercial at Google, right? And here's what AI gave, right? Which I think is wrong, but it could be right. Who knows? But I'm gonna give my unsolicited opinion. And by the way, we'll get into that. According to 27 CFR section 72.11, all crimes are commercial. This means that all crimes must be prosecuted in the name of the people of the states and not in the name of a corporation. Yeah, whatever, man. You know what? I'm gonna give you my opinion. AI be like, don't listen to AI. Some examples of commercial crimes include offenses against revenue laws, burglary, counterfeiting, kidnapping, larceny. I don't think this is what it's mean, but let's go to New York criminal courts, right? Hold on 1 second. Dang. All right, so New York criminal courts, right? Now you understand Congress have a right to regulate commerce, right? They don't have a right to regulate the private lives of people. So with that understanding, right? This is why I believe they created crimes to be commercial, because the only way that Congress could regulate it is through, making the crimes commerce, because Congress is allowed to regulate commerce. All right. So, but let's get into it, right? So let's go to CPL, criminal procedure law, right? Uh, and we're gonna go right here, right, to uh right here. Let's go right here. Right, the criminal courts help you get a better understanding. So the criminal courts of this state are comprised of the superior courts and the local criminal courts. However, the term this state, right, has this is a term, so we gotta be mindful of that. Now let's see what this term really means, right? So this term, the criminal courts of this state, right? This is a term right here, and this puts all these courts in a different jurisdiction pursuant to this term. So let's go to the term and see what it says, right? Which is at Title C, Article 20, right? Geographical jurisdiction of offense. And let's go down, right? So right here, right? This state means New York State, as its boundaries are prescribed in the state law and the space over it. But however, you see it's the capital S and not the lowercase s. So the capital S automatically means this state is created out of Article 4, Section 3, Clause 2, which doesn't has judicial power. All right? And if it doesn't has judicial power, then it's not of the state and it's not an Article 3 court. So when we say this state, that means anything within this state right here, New York State, doesn't have judicial power, right? And is really not geographically located in the Union State of New York. All right, and I'm gonna further help you understand. Look at this. All the counties. County means any of the 62 counties of this state, right? But we know, so the counties is not even really, here. They put all this in the commercial realm. That's why all crimes are commercial, all right? All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. Let's go back now to help you get a better understanding, right? Let's go to applicability and definitions, right? So I'm gonna bring you down to accusatory instrument, right? Means an indictment order reduced pursuant to subdivision 1A of section 210 dot 20 of this chapter, an information, a simplified information, a prosecutor's information, a superior court information, a misdemeanor complaint, or a felony complaint. Every accusatory instrument, regardless of the person designated therein as accuser, constitutes an accusation on behalf of the state as plaintiff and must be entitled the people of the state of New York. You see how that state is in lowercase? Yeah. But if the accusatory instrument, right? If the accusatory instrument has a capital S, yeah, that means they made it commercial, right? Yeah. That means the instrument itself is defective and grounds for how should I say, dismissal, right? Lack of geographical jurisdiction, lack of personal jurisdiction, right? Among other stuff, right? But let's continue. So you see, right? This state right here, any accusatory instrument within a union state, it must be with this. It must have this S, all right? Not the capital S, right? Everything, the words must be like this. Not a capital T, not a capital P, all right? The people of the state of New York. That's how it got to be, just like this. No other way. If it's another way, that means the instrument is defective, which all instruments are, I guess, defective. And this is why, right? Going back to this right here, right? Subject to existing international agreements to which the United States is a party at the time of enactment of this act, a foreign state shall be immune from the jurisdiction of the courts of the United States and of the states. So technically, it doesn't matter if you're a Moorish American or if you're a New Yorker, we still have immunity. I know some people are like, oh, you know, African Americans and black people, or just anybody that's not claiming a nationality, they under the 14th Amendment. No, sorry, that's not true. Nobody is really under the Fourth Amendment. There could be no rulemaking to abrogate the rights of the inhabitants, right? Inhabitants have a right, and we are all considered inhabitants. Whether you want to be an indigenous inhabitant, aboriginal inhabitant, inhabitant without a nationality, you still have rights, and there could be no rulemaking, right, to abrogate that. So, with that being said, you know what? Let me bring you to that right quick. Hold on. Right here, right? Inhabitants should be entitled to enjoy the rights of trial by jury, of bail, and of the privilege of the writ of habeas corpus, as well as other privileges of the Bill of Rights, right? Downs versus Bidwell. So we are all inhabitants. So when you are stepping into these courts, just call yourself an inhabitant. Yes, New York inhabitant. Uh, it doesn't matter. Whatever state you're from, you better declare yourself as an inhabitant of that state. And an inhabitant has rights. All right. Now you could step it up a little further if you want, right? But the most important cases to know is the Eisenberg versus Commercial Union Assurance Company and the O'Donoghue versus United States. The Eisenberg versus Commercial Union Assurance Company is going to help the court understand the difference between a foreign state and a district state, because a state of the United States or a state that's created under Article 4, Section 3, Clause 2 is really a district state, a state of the district. So why not call it what it is? It's a district state, all right? Yeah, that's what I would call it. And under the First Amendment, we are free to express ourselves. So when you are writing your instruments, you could say, you are an inhabitant, New York inhabitant, Moorish national inhabitant, you know, slash, citizen of New York hereinafter, sovereign citizen, or sovereign union state citizen, you know, express yourself, right? That's what the First Amendment for, right? And who's gonna tell us that we can't express ourselves? Nobody. All right, you got to be able to express yourself in these courts, whether you're a sovereign national or we could take the word sovereign citizen from them, right? It's easy to take it from them. You know, express yourself like this as a sovereign citizen, right? If you're not a Moorish person or if you're not anything else or you ain't claiming your own nationality, you are an of inhabitant, citizen, Union States, New York. Hold on, an inhabitant, New York State citizen, hereinafter sovereign citizen. What they gonna say then? Because sovereign citizen means what you said it means. So they can't tell you what it means, right? Because you just express yourself and then you say hereinafter, this is what sovereign citizen means. This is what it means. All right. So, or maybe I'm tripping. Who knows? Anyway, back to this. All right, let's get it. All right, let's get it. Right. All right. So now that we got that understanding, right? Now let me further go into the difference between a union state when it's defined in a which is a union state, which is a foreign state, and a district state, right? Because we can see it clearly through these titles, right? Now, as we can see, right? Where's right? Here's under the tax laws, right? The tax laws. This is what it says, right? The term United States, when used in a geographical sense, includes only the states and the District of Columbia. And then it defines state, right? The term state shall be construed to include the District of Columbia, where such construction is necessary to carry out provisions of this title. Now, as we could see, right, they use the word states with an S, and you thinking like, oh, so the state with the S is not defined right here in 10 as state without the S. Yes, it is. Because the only United States, for instance, all right, so here's what I'm trying to say, because this is how they trick people. And even the state, it still got a capital S and it's not a lowercase s, right? So this is how they get people by using certain trickery words and all that. But as we can see, the term United States, when used in a geographical sense, includes only the states and the District of Columbia, right? So why wouldn't they define states as states here? It would say states if they, you feel me? If they really, well, anyway, I'm making it confusing. All I'm saying is, right, they must define this definition right here within this if it really applicable to Title 26. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. And since the state here is the only thing that's applicable to this title, this is the only thing we could go by. So we can't say, they mean the 50 states and then they define state as in only the District of Columbia. It don't make sense. And that's being ambiguous, which they are not allowed to do. All right. So let's continue, right? The term state shall be construed to include the District of Columbia with such construction is necessary to carry out this title. So, right, United States, right, only means this state right here, which is the District of Columbia. So this is the only jurisdiction where Title 26 applies to, right? But as we could see, the Supreme Court done said, right, that The District of Columbia and the territories are not states within the judicial clause of the Constitution, giving jurisdiction in cases between citizens of different states, right? So, under the judicial branch, right, the District of Columbia and the territories are not considered states, right? So, that the District of, and right here, hold on, that the territories are not states within the meaning of, all right, anyway, that the territories are not within a clause of the Constitution providing for the creation of a Supreme Court. Anyway, so it's clear that the District of Columbia and the territories are not states, right? Within the judicial clause of the Constitution, giving jurisdiction in cases between citizens of different states. So we know that, anyway, they're not states. All right, continue. So when we go to Title 26, right, we already know what this means, right? This is a district state right here. Well, this is the district. And the district has jurisdiction over its territories. So anything within the district applies to the territories as well, right? That's why right here we got the term trade or business includes the performance of the functions of a public office. We already know only the government, perform duties of a public office, all right? So with that being said, the district, right, is the government, right? And look what it says, the term trade or business includes the performance of the functions of a public office. So that means that this only applies to the government, right? To further my argument, right? All right here, right? The United States government is a foreign corporation with respect to a state, right? Foreign corporation with respect to a state, right? And then we got foreign states, nations outside of the United States, which is the government. Term may also refer to another state, a sister state. The term foreign nations should be construed to mean all nations and states other than that in which the action is brought. And hence, one state of the Union is foreign to another. In that sense, you see, every state is foreign to each other. And since each state is foreign to each other, right? That's why they got different laws. So that's the same thing applies to the District of Columbia, which is the government, right? The United States. The United States is the district, right? The federal government, which is foreign, right? Now, even though I probably don't sound, I may sound a little confusing, but most definitely if you are of the spirit of the law, you'll understand where I'm coming from. And if you're not, then man, um, maybe you need a consultation to get some more understanding. Who knows? All right, moving forward. So we do need to understand that when a title is mentioning, right, the state with a capital S, they are talking about, right here. What is it? New states, right? Oh, no. That's clause one. I'm going to get to that in a second. Property clause, right? Property of the United States, right? Which is the district. The Congress shall have power to dispose of and make all needful rules and regulations respecting the territory or other property belonging to the United States, which is the District of Columbia, and nothing in this Constitution shall be so construed as to prejudice any claims of the United States or of any particular state, right, with a S, which is talking about the territories, right? But what we need to know is, right, whenever an accusatory instrument, right, whenever an accusatory instrument has the people, right, which is will be all capital, and then we got a capital S instead of a lowercase s, right? for the state of whatever state it is, right? That means a legislative court is involved, right? And that legislative court is in violation of what's that? What's that? Is in violation of Article 4, Section 3, Clause 1. New states may be admitted by the Congress into this union, but no new state shall be formed or erected within the jurisdiction of any other state, right? Nor any state be formed by the junction of two or more states or parts of states without the consent of the legislator of the states concerned as well as the Congress, right? So no state can be enjoined with another state or can form within the jurisdiction of any other state, right? That's what you need to know. That's very important. So whenever you see a legislative jurisdiction, which is will be the state with a capital S and it says state of, like I said, New York, and they in a geographical location of New York, they're in violation. And let me I'm gonna help my New Yorkers, understand something else. Since we know that, when you ever see that capital S, it's a legislative court, right? And they don't have judicial function. Let me go back. Where it says, right, territorial courts, right? Donahue already said it, right? Right. Hold on. Because they are legislative courts, right? Where it's at? All right, it's at 11, right? The so-called territories were parts of the outlined. No, I'm gonna pause it right there. Now, I could definitely admit I am definitely a smart, slow type of person, as well as a slow, smart type of person. Because what I was looking for is right above what I'm reading. And I didn't even see it. So that's crazy. Yeah, but back to making a fool of myself. It's cool. Domain of the United States organization in preparation for their becoming states. The Constitution could not have intended that the judges appointed for such provisional and temporary government should have permanent tenure. So any judge without permanent tenure, which means if they got 4-year terms or if they got terms, period, they are of legislative courts. The only Article 3 courts judges have permanent tenure. So if a judge doesn't have permanent tenure, he's operating out of a legislative court. Just want you to know that, right? All right. Have permanent tenure and irreducible compensation. The District of Columbia, unlike the territories, is a permanent part of the United States, the very heart of the Union, over which Congress, under Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17, which is the district, right, has permanent and exclusive power of legislation, right? This is where they got power to legislate at, right? The combined powers of national and state governments where legislation is possible, right? All right, let's go down, right? Because we need to. I think I'm probably doing too much. So, to further help you get an understanding of the inhabitants, right? This is why we could use inhabitants as well, because under the O'Donoghue versus United States case, right, Supreme Court case, it is important to bear in mind that the district, right, was made up of portions of two of the original states and was not taken out of the Union by the secession. Prior thereto, its inhabitants were entitled to all the rights, guarantees, and immunities of the Constitution, among which was the right to have their cases arising under the Constitution heard and determined by federal courts created under and vested with the judicial power conferred by Article 3. It is not reasonable to assume that the session stripped them of these rights and that it was intended that at the very seat of the national government, the people should be less fortified by the guarantee of an independent judiciary than in other parts of the Union. All right, let me continue, all right? Because for the reason stated, the provisions of Article 3 are not applicable to the territories. It does not follow that they are likewise inapplicable to the district where these particular reasons do not attain. So when they say that Article 3, which is of judicial power, are not applicable to the territories, which is they talking about the states with a capital S, right? Territories that's created under Article 4, Section 3, Clause 2 of the United States Constitution. I hope you understand that, right? So let's go further down and see, right? So the Supreme Court and Court of Appeals of the District of Columbia are permanent establishments, federal courts of the United States, and parts of the judicial system. They are vested generally with the same jurisdiction as that possessed by federal courts located elsewhere in respect of the cases enumerated in Section 2 of Article 3. And it logically follows that where jurisdiction over these cases is conferred upon the courts of the district, the judicial power, since they are capable of receiving it. All right, now we're going to go further down. All right. So, all right, here, right? All right, so to exercise, let me read up a little. This court has repeatedly held that the territorial courts are legislative courts, created in virtue of the national sovereignty or under Article 4, Section 3, Clause 2 of the Constitution, vesting in Congress the power to dispose of and make all needful rules and regulations respecting the territory or other property belonging to the United States, and that they are not invested with any part of the judicial power defined in the third article of the Constitution. And this rule, as it affects the, the territories, is no longer open to question. Do the courts of the District of Columbia occupied a like situation in virtue of the plenary power of Congress, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17, to exercise exclusive legislation in all cases whatsoever over such district not exceeding 10 miles square, as made by session of particular states and the acceptance of Congress, become the seat of the government of the United States. The inquiry requires a consideration, first, of the reasons upon which rest the decisions in respect of the territorial courts. The authority upon which all the later cases rest is American Insurance Company versus Cantor, 1 Peter, where the opinion was delivered by Chief Justice Marshall. The pertinent question was whether the judicial power of the United States, described in Article 3 of the Constitution, vested in the Supreme Courts and of the territory of Florida. And it was answered in the negative, right? So Article 3, right, of the Constitution, which is vested in the superior. Hold on, no. It was the pertinent question there was whether the judicial power of the United States, described in Article 3 of the Constitution, vested in the superior courts of the territory of Florida. So they was asking whether the superior courts of the territory of Florida, right, which is the state of Florida, has judicial power, and it was answered in the negative, right? The judges of the superior courts of Florida, right, the court said, hold their offices for 4 years. These courts then are not constitutional courts, in which the judicial power conferred by the Constitution of the general government can be deposited. They are incapable of receiving it. They are legislative courts, created in virtue of the general right of sovereignty which exists in the government, or in virtue of that clause, which enable Congress to make all needful rules and regulations respecting the territory belonging to the United States. That clause they talking about is Article 4, Section 3, Clause 2, right? In virtue of that clause which enable Congress, right? So that's what they talking about. So These legislative courts do not have judicial power. That's what we need to understand, right? So that's why, right? Let me go back here. That's why here, right? We got immunity from these courts, right? Because we have a foreign jurisdiction, we have a foreign state. The Union States are foreign to the District of Columbia and the states they create under Article 4, Section 3, Clause 2. Right? That's what we understand. And every time they try to form their state within a jurisdiction of a union state, they're in violation of Article 4, Section 3, Clause 1. All right? We need to understand that, right? They only got the 10th Amendment, right? It say the power that's not delegated to the government is left to the people, right? All right, 10th Amendment. Let's see, right? 10th Amendment. All right. You see the World Star. World Star. I just want to say, whenever we see that district state, it got to be a World Star moment, man. I mean, I'm a little bit with the ignorance. I'm a Scorpio. Chinese dragon zodiac will be dragon. Uh, Also, Pluto and Scorpio, right? Uh, Moon in Gemini, but Virgo rising. So, I'm perfecting the balance and all that. And I just want to say that, man. It's everything is I think I have. Well, I don't know. Maybe I got perfect balance. Maybe I don't. Who knows? All right. Back to the regular schedule programming. All right. 10th Amendment, right, to the United States Constitution states that powers not given to the federal government are reserved for the states or the people. Right? Excuse me. And as we can see right here, no prohibited by it to the states are reserved to the states. Some people don't know how to differentiate between a union state and a district state. They still use that capital S, but right here is proper, right? For the states, which is the union states or the people. All right. So let's continue. Uh, this is for now with clearer understanding. This is for my New Yorkers, right? Here's what Here's what we got, right? New York, Consolidated Laws, Judiciary Law, Section 3. Use of term court prohibited, right? No person, firm, association, or corporation shall hereinafter use or employ the term court as part of or in connection with the name of any body, board, bureau, association, organization, or corporation, or referring to any body, board, bureau, association, organization, or corporation in such manner as to be calculated reasonably to lead to the belief that the body, board, bureau, association, organization, or corporation is vested with judicial power or is a part of the judicial system of the state. The use of such term being expressly limited by this section for reference to a court of record or a court not of record duly organized and existent under the laws of the state as part of the judicial system of the state, right? So we need to understand, right? These legislative courts, right, don't have judicial power. So whenever you see the state with a capital S, right, and it's being formed within the jurisdiction of a union state, right? I know in New York they're in violation of this law, and we got a lot of courts, right? That's in violation. The whole criminal court, right? Listen, the criminal courts, how they gonna get around the fact that how they gonna get listen, how they gonna get over this fact, right? The term "this state" means New York State, but when they use the capital S, that's a legislative court right there, or that's the district state, which only have legislative authority and no judicial authority, right? So the term "this state," right? Now when we go right here, we understand this better. The criminal courts of this state are comprised of the superior courts and the local criminal courts, superior courts, right? And a county court. All these courts are part of this state, which is the district state of New York, right? It's not the union state of New York, it's the district state. And that's how all the instruments are defective. So think about it, right? Let me bring you to another law. Now, this is how we got to shut them down, right? Because we got immunity from all these motherfuckers. Excuse the French. All right, so 18 USC 1001, right? Bang, right here, right? This is what's happening, right? Statements or entries generally, right? Except as otherwise provided in this section, whoever in any manner within the jurisdiction of the executive, legislative, or judicial branch of the government of the United States knowingly and willfully falsifies, conceals, or covers up by any trick, scheme, or device of material fact, makes any material false, fictitious, or fraudulent statement or representation, or makes any uses uh, uses any false writing or document knowing the same to contain any materially false, fictitious, or fraudulent statement or entry shall be fined under this title, right? Now they'll say, right, they'll say that subsection A does not apply to a party to a judicial proceeding. So they're like, oh, that don't apply to us. We have a judicial proceeding, but legislative courts are not of a judicial proceeding, and that's what you got to prove, right? Because they're gonna say this part don't apply to them. But if they're not of a judicial proceeding, guess what? This part applies to them. You're gonna have to prove that these legislative courts are not of the judicial branch, right? And that's that right there. You know, let's 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 see title 42. For housing. Anybody need free rent? You feel me? I probably could help. I probably could help y'all get free rent, right? So here's what it says under Title 42, right? This deals with rental payments under low income housing, right? Dwelling units assisted under this chapter shall be rented only to families who are low income families at the time of their initial occupancy of such units. Reviews of family income shall be made, right? It don't say nobody else, only family income. So let's define family, right? Family includes a single individual. Well, we're gonna have to define individual. Since individual is not included within Title 42, we need to understand that under Title 5, all agencies must keep records, right, of individuals. So let's go to Title 5, right? And what else? Let me see. Title 5. All right. Title 5. So, Title 5, right? All right. Let me just go over because we're going to get to this right here real soon, right? So, Title 5, right, which is administrative practices. Oh, nope. Not that. Actually, it's 552. Yeah. Administrative procedures, right? Bang. Records maintained on individuals. So, the term individual means a citizen of the United States or an alien lawfully admitted for permanent residence. Now, you see, citizen of the United States and an individual. So, you got to be careful because are you really a citizen of the United States within this title? United States, let's define United States within this title, right? We got to define state. So, bang, like I said, we're going to go back here, right? State means a state, a territorial possession of the United States, including Commonwealth or the District of Columbia. You see, state. Listen, that state, that's not of the Union State, right? Remember, foreign states are with a lowercase s. This is a capital S right here. So, you know, this is the district states. The states that's created under Article 4, Section 3, Clause 2. All right? Because I done explained to you right here, right? They're going to use the lowercase s when they mention in the states, the Union States. And when the Union States is included, you're going to see a lowercase s. And as you can see, this under commercial activity. Because, let's go back to this, right? You know, subject to existing international agreements to which the United States is a party at the time of enactment of this act. A foreign state shall be immune from the jurisdiction, right, of the courts. If they're immune from the jurisdiction of the courts, they're immune from the jurisdiction of any definitions as well, right? Of the courts of the United States and of the states, right? Except by except as provided in section 1605 to 1607. 1605 deals with commercial activity, so that's why the Union States are included, because this is consumer law deals with commercial activity. All right, that's what you need to understand. Uh, Now let's go back, right? So you are not a United States citizen. That's why you got to be careful because most of these applications they ask, are you a United States citizen? When you say yes, bang, now you're part of the district state, right? You're in agreement with their laws and all that. You ain't gotta agree, because look, this is exactly what they doing, right? They are right, makes or use any false writing or document knowing the same to contain any material false, fictitious, or fraudulent statements or entries, right? This is what they got us using. They're using connotative language on these documents to get us to consent to the jurisdiction of their state, which is the district states. But that's against the law, right? Because by them using even these documents, they are still forming within the jurisdiction of of a state, which is in violation of Article 4, Section 3, Clause 1, right? They are still forming within the jurisdiction, the geographical jurisdiction of a state, of a union state, or of a foreign state, which they have no authority to do, all right? So that's what you need to know. All right, so let's go back, right? Uh, so, right, under housing, right, definitions. So the word family doesn't apply to you. You're not considered a family. And since only families are only required, right? They only can review family income, right? And since you don't fit the description of family, well, guess what? It don't apply to you. They're gonna have to prove that that definition is applicable to you. Now you got to be brave. Let me bring you to let me bring you to if you're in New York, here's what New York State Constitution, right? New York, got to be brave, all right? New York State Constitution. Let me tell you what it says, right? All right, bye. And where we want to go? We want to go to where we want to go? Defense, right? We want to go to defense and militia, right? Which is Article 12. So let's go down to Article 12, right? Let's go down to Article 12. Hey, all right, Article 12, right? Bang. The defense and protection of the state and of the United States is an obligation of all persons within the state. So we are obligated, to protect. You feel me? The legislator shall provide for the discharge of this obligation and for the maintenance and regulation of an organized militia, right? Is an obligation of all persons within the state. So listen, you gotta stand up for what's yours, all right? And I got something for the Moors as well. I got something for the Moors. Uh, Divine Constitution, right? What is it? 4. Right? All citizens, right? All citizens must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all citizens must obey the laws of the government. So we will be obeying the law of the Constitution by enforcing it, right? Cause we got you know I am gonna say his name, but we got a goofy on the net talking about we can't be challenging jurisdiction and all that. That is crazy. You better challenge jurisdiction every time. That's one of your main defenses, to challenge jurisdiction. All right, so let's get to it, right? So yeah, this is how we could get free rent, man. You feel me? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Reviews of income, right? Reviews of family income shall be made pursuant to paragraph 6, blah, blah, blah. All right? It don't say nobody else income. Reviews of family income. All right? And the thing is, we don't even make income pursuant to the law. I mean, let me see. Do we make income? We're about to find out right now. Do we make income? All right, so let's see. Dang, where's that? Where's that? Do we even make income? Where you at? Where you at? God damn. All right, anyway, let's get to it, right? So it will be 26, yeah, CFR, right? Gross income. All right, so general definition. Gross income means all income for whatever source derived, unless excluded by law. So if the income is excluded by law, right, is not considered income because gross income means all income, all right, unless excluded by law, all right. So it can't be called income if it's not called gross income because gross income means all income from whatever source derived unless excluded by law. I hope you understand that. Now let's go to definitions. All right, we're about to blow this whole thing out the water. All right, definitions under Title 26. What the hell? Damn, where that shit went, man? The fuck? All right, right here. So we already know what this state. This only includes the District of Columbia, right? Right? And the District of Columbia is not considered states per O'Donoghue versus United States. All right, so now let's go up here, right? Foreign state. The term foreign state means an estate the income of which from sources without the United States, which is not effectively connected with the conduct of a trade or business within the United States, is not includable in gross income, right? So you have a foreign estate. So therefore, you know, your income is not included in gross income, which means you don't make income because you're a foreign estate, right? We already know what the definition of the United States means. We know what United States means, right? Yeah. So I hope you understand that, right? You have a foreign state, right? So we are none of these, which the banks like to classify us as United States persons, right? A citizen or resident of the United States. But we know what the definition of United States means, especially under this title. So are you a citizen or resident of the United States? We already know what United States means under this title, all right? Don't make it be simple. Don't make it no more than what it is. Let's look up the word person. The term person shall construe to mean and include an individual, a trust, a state, partnership, association, company, or corporation. But we know we are natural persons, right? Look what under under this title, right? Let's see what consumer means, right? Let's see. Consumer, right, means a cardholder or natural person. Now, why they couldn't say that under title 26? Why they can't use the word natural person to define person? Because it doesn't include natural persons, right? Let's look under here though, right? If you want to call yourself an individual, please, or call yourself a person, you know, person, human being, child, or individual. Now, if you want to call yourself a person, you better say you're a person within the meaning of 1 USC Section 8. You can say that, or you can say you're an individual within the meaning of this title right here. You got to cite this title, right? And determining the meaning of any act of Congress or of any ruling, regulation, or interpretation of the various administrative bureaus and agencies of the United States. The word person, human being, child, an individual shall include every infant member of the species Homo sapiens who is born alive at any stage of development, right? And then you could say, you know, you could cite all this, freedom of expression, express yourself, all right? But in order to express yourself, you gotta know the law, all right? So remember, so under Title 26, yeah, we are not persons under Title 26. We are not individuals, right? It doesn't apply to us. Where you see natural person at? You don't see natural person. So I will give a whole video on taxation as well. Just laying everything out. I will also give a whole video on the criminal courts and show you how you could motion the courts properly, you know, to get yourself out of your issues. Uh Even consumer law. Uh let me give you a little something on consumer law. What should I give? What should I give? Because I want to do a video on consumer law as well. Right? So you know what? Nah, I'm gonna leave that to the consumer law video. You're gonna get everything. Don't worry about it. All right. So I don't know. I think I should conclude here. As long as you follow these rules, read the title correctly, right? All you gotta do is read the title correctly, right? That's even with federal gun laws. Do federal gun laws apply to the Union states, right? I'm gonna do a video on that. These federal gun laws. Think about it. All like the NFA or something like that is under Title 26, which is the tax codes. Who the tax codes apply to? The District of Columbia. It don't apply to nobody else. So you can't be charged for any gun laws under Title 26. You can't be charged for any gun laws under Title 18 as well. Let's see, 18, right? 18. I'm giving it away right now, right? Fuck it, right? Why not? Right? These are, see, right? The term person and the term whoever include any individual, corporation, company, association, firm, partnership, society, or joint stock company, right? I don't know what society means, but I don't think they define that. They probably do define it, but then they don't. But look what it says, right? Look what it says. State. This state right here doesn't include the Union States, right? Doesn't include the Union States. Even with traffic, even in New York, right? With traffic tickets. Let's go to vehicle traffic law, right? Index. Oh nope, hold on. Hold on. Alright, let's see if I could. I don't know. Can I go to alright, you know what? Alright, there we go. Let me see. Alright, Title 8, right? Let's go with Title 8. Alright, right here. Powers of state, right? Uniform statewide application. Who is applicable to, right? Right? The provisions of this chapter shall be applicable and uniform throughout this state. We already know what that term means, right? Reason why this term applies because all traffic tickets fall under the criminal courts, right? And this is the type of information it is under the criminal courts, right? The accusatory instrument is going to be considered a simplified traffic information, right? So, like I said, right? Let's go back, right? The provisions of this chapter shall be applicable and uniform throughout this state and in all political subdivisions and municipalities therein, right? So this state means the New York State, which it's the capital S, which signifies or implicates that it's a part of the district state, right? Or the district states. Actually, we say district state without a S for when we mention in one state. Now, if we mention in all the union states, we're gonna say district states as well, right? Well, no, not union states. When we mention in all of the states that's that's operate under the color of law and what should I say? In comparison to the Union State, I guess whatever, you know what the hell I'm talking about. But anyway, this state right here, right, means New York State. And since it means New York State with a capital S for the word state, it's a legislative function and not a judicial function, all right? So, damn, I'm gonna give it to you right here. So, with that being said, right? No, I'm gonna give it to you in the criminal courts, actually. I'm gonna do a whole video on the criminal courts and help you understand what you really could do when stuff like this when you're being approached by these how should I say, these state actors operating under the color of law, right? In violation of their constitutional oaths. Yeah, yeah. All right, so I'm gonna conclude here, right? Uh, yeah, yeah. Let me give you some information real quick, right? All right, hold on. Yeah, yeah. This is if you need a consultation, right? My name is Clifford Bey, by the way. All right. The Super Saiyan Moor at gmail.com if you need to email me. Uh $75, $75 for a half an hour consultation, 120 for an hour consultation. Now, I can help you understand New York criminal procedure law, right? Dismiss cases that has no injured parties, of course. Has no injured parties. All right. Credit repair, income tax law, I can help you understand. Consumer credit transactions, dealing with personal and auto loans only. All right. Personal loans and auto loans. And for mortgage, I believe if you have an account, right? Well, anything pertaining to any account, I could definitely help you understand what's happening with an adverse action, how you was adversely affected, right? But I'm gonna do a video. I'm gonna do a video on each and every one of these. You know, now if you can't understand the information I'm giving in the video, I suggest you get a consultation. But I'm gonna try to explain as much as I can so you wouldn't need a consultation. Right? All right. So that applies with rent and low income housing too. But I'm gonna let you know if you're gonna fuck with this housing shit, excuse the French, if you're gonna not report your income with the housing, you might need to be prepared to get locked up. But then again, I'm gonna show you how to, go through a grievance procedure, right? Because if you go through the grievance procedure, you can still pay your rent. Go through the grievance procedure, find them at fault, and then get all the money you've been paying to housing. Yeah, we could do that instead of going a route that I ain't gonna say too much. But all right, you can hit me up at the Super Saiyan Moor at gmail.com, right? If you need a consultation, and if you need if you want to know how to no, I'm gonna just if you want more information on how to become a Moor, I suggest you read all the information on RV Bey publications. All right. Shout out to everybody at RV Bey publications. Uh, Shout out to the Kalen Moors, Taz Tariq Bey, Asir the Ducateers. Now, shout out mainly to Asir the Ducateers because he the one. It was his document that actually led me to these two Supreme Court cases. Now, once I got uh, the information to the Supreme Court cases, these two, that's what really opened my brain, like apocalypse the mind. Yeah, so shout out to I said the Duke of Tiz, man. Shout out to that man. You know. And shout out to all the other malls I haven't mentioned, Not that I'm in agreement with everything, for instance. The temple, like for instance, the temple, and the charters, like with the information I got here, you know, we supposed to, I don't know, I, uplifting humanity is making sure that these kids are not being kidnapped within the district states. Uplifting humanity, right? For instance, how can we say we uplifting humanity? Are we in the works of uplifting humanity if we're allowing these district states to exist? Like, for instance, anybody, right? Look, this is what it says right here. This is what it says, right? Where's that? Where's that? What the hell? All right, so let me see. The officer may be sued only if he acts in excess of his authority or in violation of the Constitution, for then he ceases to represent the government. See, this case right here, right? Anybody that's acting under the district state and forming within the jurisdiction of a union state, if we could prove that they went in excess of their authority from even a couple years ago, every case up then will be repealed, because they cease to be authority from the time they went out of their authority, right? So that's why some prosecutions, right, when a judge get found doing something dirty years ago, or when a prosecutor get found doing something dirty from years ago, a lot of cases got to get repealed and dismissed because of that. It's because once they act out of their authority, they cease to be a part of the government. So yes, all these judges, all these prosecutors, they are functioning under the state of, right, with the capital S, for a long time. All these charters, like, we should be making new charters, right? New governmental charters. It doesn't matter if you're a Moor or not. You have the authority to make a charter, right? Whatever, under the 10th Amendment, whatever authority is not granted to the government is reserved to the people, and the people is reserved to create their own commonwealth and their own charter, right? Under these charters, we could get rid of all these charters that's operating under the color of law and become the new government. Technically, only thing we gotta do is break the bank. How do we break the bank? We sue them, and we keep suing them. Every case we talking about child support. We talking about CPS. They constantly kidnapping kids, right? All this. So, with that being said, the temples haven't been doing this. I mean, these charters is supposed to be put in check every time we see a state forming within the jurisdiction of a union state. I don't see these charters doing this. So technically, they're not uplifting humanity. I mean, that's the number one thing we're supposed to be doing, uplifting humanity. So with that being said, if you're more of a temple and you got something to say to us Moors that's not of the temple, well, first of all, I'm a naive being of a gamma frequency. Like, if you are of the frequency, can you really tell another person of the frequency what to do? Like, we have the highest vibrations on the planet. Like, I'm vibrating high just like you. You think you could tell me what to do? Yeah, you crazy. You think I'm gonna pay dudes? Me being here, my energy already paying dudes. Like, that's crazy to me. But I hear you though. But I'm gonna let you know, and I'm gonna let everybody know. Nobody's above the collective. Nobody. So yeah, we all need to get it together. And someone feel like they need to come at me. I hope you active in shutting down these charters, because that's what really need to be going on. If you got time to come after me, I'm hoping you shutting down these charters that's in violation of Article 4, Section 3, Clause 1. Yeah. So I'm gonna conclude it. This is Clifford Bey. Uh, checking out. Yeah, y'all all have a nice day. Uh, one more thing. Stay vigilant and prosper. All right, so the best way for you to stay out the paradigm of the government calling you a United States citizen is by claiming yourself under non-citizen U.S. national or a state national under Title 8 USC Section 1101, all right? Which will be all the way up here, right? It's about expressing yourself. So you want to express yourself to the best of your ability, right? So bang, right? The term national means a person owing permanent allegiance to a state, which I believe we owe permanent allegiance to New York as well as to the United States, right? And then you could cite 11 USC 21A, right? I mean 21, or you could cite 8 USC 21A, and 8 U.S.C. 22B, not A. You don't want to be no citizen of the United States. You want to be B, a person who, though not a citizen of the United States, owe permanent allegiance to the United States. So it will be a non-citizen United States national, right? That's what 22B will be. All right, so keep that in mind. All right. All right. Further, right, under Title 8 of the United States Code, Section 1324B, right? You want to go down to A3, protected individual, right? Is a citizen or national of the United States. So nationals of the United States are considered protected individuals. But you see this word individual, right? You could say you could still declare yourself as an individual within, right? Hold on. You could declare yourself as an individual within the meaning of right here, United States, 1 USC Section 8, right? Because I believe under that title, the definition of individual is different, so they try to trick you. But you are still considered a protected individual as a United States national. You want to call yourself a non-citizen U.S. national, right? That's the best thing to be. And only thing a national means under the United States codes is you have allegiance to the United States, which we do. Doesn't mean we got allegiance to the representation, right? That might be committing fraud, but we got allegiance to the government because we are the government, all right? And these representatives of the government, the minute that they commit fraud, they cease to be a part of the government. So we got to kick them off the block ASAP. You heard? All right, let's get it. So I'm going to start by saying this. I think I deserve a donation. No cap. All right. So you're rocking with Clifford Bey, right? I'm a Scorpio. Chinese zodiac will be Dragon. Mass number 11. Pluto in Scorpio. Moon in Gemini. Virgo ascendant. Right? And to be honest, nigga still broke. But we gonna proceed, alright? Now, I got a couple YouTube channels that I'm gonna be creating. So I'm gonna just go over those stuff right quick. So first is gonna be, right, the Super Saiyan Moor YouTube channel. It's about everything under the sun, right? That doesn't get posted to my other channels. I might decide to post to the Super Saiyan Moor channel what I have posted to my other channels. It depends how important the topic is going to be. But this channel is definitely going to be more about the law and my perspective on cases that may be active or cases that already have had a judgment made therein. All right. All right. So going to my other YouTube channel, right? My other YouTube channel is going to be the State of the Moors, right? State of the Moors, reviewing cases that Moors have been tried for and giving my opinion on what went wrong and what could have been done. Reacting to Moorish propaganda, reacting to different Moors' input on certain topics, giving my unsolicited and unpopular opinion on historical events. And now with this section right here, uh, it's really not going to probably be factual, but it's going to sound like it is factual. You feel me? Like, I might be close. I might be close to the facts, but not but not be a bullseye on the facts. It's really going to be more about speculation and all that. I will be reacting to those who got something crazy to say about the Divine National Movement, reacting to Moors who be doing a lot of woofing, but really not doing nothing. And even if you are doing something, you probably still not doing nothing. But it's all love though. It's still all love. You feel me? I got love for the Moors. You feel me? I'm a Moor, so. But hey, we all gotta hold each other accountable, right? And I'm always up for some edification. I'm hard headed, so I done been knocked around already. And I'm still probably gonna be hard headed. But it's alright. I'm willing to learn through experience more than what somebody's yapping. You feel me? So yeah, I probably gotta go through the fire 100 times, and it is what it is. All right, reacting to Moore's. All right, nope. Definitely giving my opinions on why the NOI must be stopped and dissolved. All right, so yeah, the Nation of Islam must be stopped. I'm sorry. And if you're a non-ether being, you feel me, within the Nation of Islam, you know, you more than that. You feel me? You more than that at the end of the day. But I got a video coming on the Nation of Islam, and it's going to be made with love, all right? It's going to be made with love. But, you know, coming back to giving my unsolicited and unpopular opinion on a historical facts, yeah, we gonna have to get into that. All right, moving forward. Definitely giving my opinions on why the Hebrew Israelites are irrelevant and lack spiritual competence, right? Uh yeah. I mean, you feel me? When you talking crazy about a certain race, you feel me? And don't get me wrong, whether it's factual or not, what is our purpose here? Especially, the Hebrew Israelites supposed to be mainly non-ether beings. And if you operating outside that frequency, you feel me, which is the fruit of the spirit, something really wrong with that. You lack spiritual competence. But I'm gonna get to more of that. We definitely gonna get to more of that though. All right, let's continue. Are Moors who want to be Indians only doing it for a check? We gotta talk about these Indians, man. This is crazy. You feel me? I will be giving my opinion on those who decide to set up tribal organizations instead of charters. I don't understand. A charter is self-government. Tribal, you still operating under the I feel like you still operate under the United States codes, or you still got to report, some paperwork or something like that. That's why, and I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I do believe, when you claim yourself as a tribe, you fall under Title 7 of the United States codes when you register yourself as a tribal organization. But why do that when you could represent yourself as a sovereign charter? You could be literally sovereign under your governmental charter. You just gotta, know how to create that charter, and you definitely need people. You need a whole lot of you need definitely need people that's gonna be positioned, have governmental positions within the charter. So it does takes a group of people to set up a charter. I don't know about a tribal organization. Now, I think one person probably could set that up and then just guide the members or something like that. But even you could set up a charter and then set up a tribal organization, I believe, or something like that, right? But moving forward, right? And my continued opinion on why being more is the only way. This is international right here when you're a Moor. So why wouldn't you want to be that? All right, so this is for State of the Moors, right? YouTube channel. I definitely got to touch on. I got a lot to say. All right, moving forward. All right, spiritual war or love? Is it spiritual war or love? That's gonna be my YouTube channel, right? And this is gonna be talking about. All right, so here's it is, right? If the information that people is giving out creates distortion in your inner compass and how you perceive this reality, then that will be considered a spiritual attack on one's spirit, and that falls under spiritual war, right? If the information helps you to align with your higher self, then that falls under spiritual love. And I just want to give my spiritual perception, opinion on, certain master teachers or conscious leaders and their opinions. Are they creating spiritual war within you, or are they creating spiritual love within you? That's all I just want to do. I just want to touch on certain things. I got to quickly debunk flat Earth. You feel me? That's gonna be one of my main. That's like a 3 minute video right there. Something light. All right. So I'm definitely gonna be reacting to spiritual masters and conscious leaders the best way I know how to, because I really don't be understanding a damn thing some of them be talking. Yo, and honestly, yeah, I mean, I'm not. I'm definitely not the. I'm not the know it all, be it all. Cause when some dudes be talking, man, I'm like, yo, what is they talking about? Like, sometimes we just gotta keep it simple. And then sometimes, if the information is for whoever it is for. You feel me? But if you trying to uplift these souls that's really down and out, someone like me, I'm down and out. You're gonna have to speak to me in a little bit more plainer terms. But if it ain't for me, it ain't for me. You feel me? And I ain't gonna trip. But I definitely gotta give my opinion on certain things. All right. I will be reacting to those with divinity channels to give my perception on how you can cause yourself to have spiritual psychosis. So I'm talking about channelers, tarot readers, and all that. Prophetess, because because a lot of people be thinking stuff is for them, and it may not be for you. All right, it may not be for you. Sometimes you gotta take what some of these channels say with a grain of salt. Maybe it's just I'm just keep it right there. I will be reacting to those with divinity channels so you can have a greater understanding of how you can affect the collective as well as partake in raising the frequency of the collective, right? That's another thing, because a lot of these divinity channels they do help you see things in a different way. So, I'm gonna dive into that as well. I will be giving my spiritual opinion on certain matters pertaining to the conscious and spiritual community. So yeah, we will be definitely going over certain videos. Oh man, especially Rashad Jamal. That I want to go over his case as well as why why that may happen to him. And we'll get into that. I'm definitely gonna do a video of Rashad Jamal though, because he's definitely a cautionary tale. And I will be focusing on revealing the word as stated in John 1:1 of the Bible and how it relates to the collective and the creation of Adam painting. Right, that's gonna be a good one. I'm gonna call that video. You know what? Nah, because I don't want motherfuckers taking my shit. So yeah, that's gonna be a good one. And I'm gonna do more. I think it's gonna be great. Another YouTube channel, Cosmetic Health and Wellness. Well, it's really called Cosmetics, Health, and Wellness. And this channel will be about hygiene and wellness. Now, I ain't got the best hygiene and all that, so but just because I ain't got the best hygiene, it doesn't mean I can't, say some shit. I definitely got information and all that. I got home remedies, you feel me? Or I could just guide you to other YouTube channels that got home remedies for deep physical healing, right? Hair and skincare is very important. Now, skincare is not dealing with your external, that's also dealing with your insides, you feel me? Because, your tissues is sort of made up of the same uh what is it, elements that your skin is made of or whatever. Anyway. And, I'm willing to give away some natural treatments that I have been using for myself that probably will work for you as well.